You're listening to the Flip Houses Like a Girl podcast, where we educate, empower, and celebrate everyday women who are facing their fears, juggling family and business, embracing their awesomeness, and wholeheartedly chasing their dream of flipping houses. Each episode delivers honest to goodness tools, tips, and strategies you can implement today to get closer to your first or next successful house flip. Here's your spiky-haired, breakfast taco-loving host, house flipping coach, Debbie DeBeery.
Hey, how's it going today? Thanks for spending some time with us as we get into an interview with one of our Flip Sisters, one of the women in our coaching program, who recently completed and sold her first flip. So we get to hear all about her journey. And what's awesome is that we have many students who are flipping houses remotely. So they are in one city or state, and they are flipping houses in another city or state. Perhaps their local market is really, really expensive, and they don't want to spend over $1 million just to buy a property that needs, several $100,000 in renovation. Whatever their reason is, they've chosen to go outside their local market. I do the same thing. I flip remotely as well. I flip locally and remotely. It all works when you know what data to look at and how to be smart and build your team the right way. All right, so let's get into this conversation with one of my awesome students and Flip Sisters, Wendy Billings in the Salt Lake City area of Utah. Do you want to introduce yourself and let us know where you are and a little bit of your background?
Okay. My name is Wendy Billings, and I live in Utah near Salt Lake area. I have been doing accounting since 2015. So, but before that, I've got 6 kids. So raised kids, I drove school bus, I worked in a cafeteria, for school. So I did all sorts of other jobs. And I just always had this desire to do something creative. And sorry, but accounting isn't it. It's numbers, it's figures, it's reports, it's fairly monotonous. So I just wanted something different. And I had worked with my husband because he did construction. He was a contractor for years. And a lot of times I would go on jobs and work with him and do stuff. So I kind of knew a lot about that industry. And it always fascinated me. And then he went on and became an engineer. So he does something completely, sort of in the same field. But so I always had this desire to do something creative. And when I found your program, I was like, that's it. That's how we're going to do this. So I was very excited.
I love it. I love that I popped up at just the right time too. Yeah, I do that. I'm listening. I'm always listening, and then I'm going to pop up. Okay, so you're outside of Salt Lake City. Let's talk about your first flip that you recently completed, and you celebrated by taking the family to Disney World, which is so awesome. I love that so much.
The crazy part is I didn't buy one in my area. So my parents live 3 hours south of us in a place called Cedar City.
I'm remembering this. Okay, I'm remembering this conversation. Right. Okay, yes.
There's when I look at houses up here, I have a realtor up here, and I've been looking religiously, and I'd go to a house and there would be 20, 30 offers on it. And the house was on the market for $385. It sells for $450. And there's no margin for, fixing it, and it needs $50,000 worth of work. So I just couldn't do it up here. So I drive south. I stay with my parents. I work on the house on the weekends, and then I come home.
I love that you figured out how to make it work for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. You didn't just decide, it's too hard here. I'm not going to do it. Oh, well, you're like, no, I'm doing it. It's going to look a little different than I thought.
It does. And the crazy part is the market's still hot down there. It's just not as insane. So we're still able to have lots of buyers without having to have the crazy purchase. Oh, yeah. Up here, there's so many people wanting to do the same thing. There's just no margin for it.
MLS deals are tough. So did you find your first deal on the MLS? Did you buy your first deal on the MLS?
I did. We actually went through a realtor who is amazing. She's been looking for all these type of things, that she knows exactly what I want. And she is always sending me things that she's like, this one will work because this is where I see it once you've got a hold of it. Because she now has seen what I did, and she has been now looking specifically for those new deals.
I love it. Have your team doing things. Yes. I love that. Okay. So were you the only offer, or were you in multiple offers?
No, I wasn't, but we were the only cash offer. And so they were thrilled to just, it was a weird situation, but, and that's why sometimes they are. It was it was a single mom with 4 kids. Most of them were adults, and one teenager. She passed away. And so the 4 brothers had lived there for like 2 years. And then now it was time for them to kind of go their separate ways. And so, they were selling the house finally, but apparently it was that house in the neighborhood. Every person who walked up was like, oh, I'm so glad to see this house being fixed up. I'm so glad someone's doing something. It was if the dishwasher didn't work, we throw it on the front lawn house. If there's a broken vehicle, it's just on the property, just in pieces. And so that's what this house was for the neighbors. And they were so glad to see it being fixed.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. So you find it on the MLS, or your realtor says, hey, this is a good one. Make an offer. Great. Make an offer. You get accepted.
I didn't even see it.
You didn't. You're just trusting your team.
I saw it on the MLS, and I trusted. And I did send my mom to go look at it, because my mom and dad have kind of wanted to be part of this. And so they looked at it, said, I think this will be a good one. And we put an offer in on it and I hadn't even been down there.
And that's what you got to do sometimes, right? Did you have a contingency, like an inspection contingent?
I did get to inspect it. So.
Okay, good. Super important when we're buying sight unseen, right? Yes. Right. Okay. So you get it off MLS. All right. So let's talk about the details some. Like, what was your purchase price?
We purchased it for $189,000.
Okay. And going into it, what was your renovation? What were you thinking?
Initially, we were thinking about $27,000, $28,000 for renovation. And it did go over. We went, things happen.
Yeah. What did it end up being?
It was just right under $35,000 for all.
Okay. That's not bad.
No.
That's not bad. Yeah. Okay. All right. Were there any major surprises repair wise that came up? Any big hiccups?
Well, because it wasn't a stick-built house, it was a modular home. Doorways they're not 2x4s, they're 2x3s. And so when you buy a door from Home Depot, it doesn't fit. And so you had to rip down every single doorway, or every door that we had to put in. And so that was something I hadn't anticipated.
Wow.
Even that, we pay over twice as much for a custom door. So we just ripped them down.
Okay. So that's really interesting. See, I've never done a modular home, so I wouldn't even know that. Yeah. There's something new on all of these. Okay.
Well, and because of that, also because of weird walls, when we did the plumber put the bathtub in, instead of it just going nicely in, it was a fight, and it took him instead of a few hours for 2 tubs, it took him all day for 2 tubs. And so there was a slight increase of cost for that, but he didn't charge me too much more. So that was nice, but it was a fight for a lot of things. There was a standard size sink. I custom made my countertops because they didn't fit in the bathroom. So, things like that.
So interesting. That's so interesting. Okay. So lots of little surprises like that came up then because it was a modular home. Okay. So what was your initial timeline?
My initial timeline, I was hoping for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
But since I was doing it only weekends, it did take me 10.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. And literally I would drive down on Thursday night. And because I work from home, I do everything online, and mostly Fridays are kind of a non-day. So I would work like an hour in the morning on Friday, and then all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then drive home Sunday night.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
and I did a majority of the work myself, either me or my mom. My parents were great. My mother was like, dive right in. She's 73 and she loved it. So she was right in the middle of it with me.
Okay, so you did most of the work. What kinds of things did you hire out?
I hired out the plumbing.
Mhm.
I hired out the deck in the back.
Mhm.
We had a painter come in and did the outside. He will do the inside next time.
Uh-huh.
What else did I have hired out? Let's see. I also had the neighbor. It was funny because when the plumber came, he goes, "You do know your neighbor next door is an amazing handyman." And I went, "Nope, but I do now." And so he came over and fixed our gutters, and he fixed the bathroom fans because we were going to replace them. And he says, "No, you don't want to replace them. You'll have to redo the entire sheetrock on the ceiling. Let me fix the motor." And he came in and did a great job. So he did that part. And let's see. Oh, and the carpet. Somebody else laid the carpet. I don't do that. So
I love it. Okay. Did you go into it wanting to be hands-on, wanting to do a lot of the work?
I did want to do a lot of it myself. I think this next time I'm going to sub out a lot more. Sheetrock is fine. I can do it, but it's not fun.
Right.
Like I said, painting inside, not fun. I like doing the floors, like the laminate flooring. It is so satisfying.
I love that you tried some things and you're like, yeah, okay. So these are some things I don't want to do next time. These are some things I do, and we're going to hire out some things. I love it. I love it. And it sounds like your mom, you're going to have a chat with your mom, because it sounds like your mom wants to do all the things.
But she did. She was the one who staged the house when we got done, and it was beautiful. And everyone commented on how great it was.
So oh my gosh, I love that.
And she got to go to Disney World with us. So
oh, good. She deserved that trip to Disney World. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Your renovation budget and your timeline, they went over a little bit, like nothing major. Like you did a really good job, especially the fact that you were doing so much of the work yourself. Okay, so let's talk about the sales price. What did you end up getting for the sales price?
$285,000.
What did you go into it estimating?
$265,000.
Uh-huh.
Because as we went along, it just kept increasing. And I was okay with that.
Yep. That's what happens, right? It just keeps going up a little bit, at least lately. So, okay. 285. Oh, I meant to ask, how did you finance the purchase?
That's where my parents came in. I didn't do hard money lenders. I had fully planned on it. And my dad came to me one day, he says, "I feel like we should go into this and help you with this." And I was like, okay.
Twist my arm.
I know. And so they funded the entire thing. In fact, when I go down, fill my tank of gas, they reimburse the gas. I mean, they did everything financially. And that was because they just kind of were like, we've got money, we might as well.
Right.
It was fun to invest in this, fun to do it.
Right.
My dad didn't think it was as fun as we went along as my mother did. But
why? What was your dad? Was he worried about stuff?
No, it's not his thing.
Uh-huh.
To fix houses. He was great though. He took loads to the dump. He went to the store. He did that kind of thing, but it really wasn't his kind of thing. But it's okay. He was very supportive. In fact, he made a comment. He's like, "I never thought I'd see my daughter doing construction and building houses, but you're doing great." I was like,
that's so cool. That's so cool. And what did your husband think of your venture?
He was supportive. It's funny because he's a worry. He's kind of worried.
Sure.
And the idea of getting stuck with a house that costs X number of dollars, and then we've got a second payment. And I mean, he stressed a little bit about that type of thing. And so I feel like I had to get past or not dive down that rabbit hole with him.
Yeah.
Because you could start stressing about the cost and the what ifs and the I could be in trouble if this happens. And I discussed that with my parents. What happens if this does go wrong? And they said, well, then we have a rental and we'll just pay you your profits.
There you go.
And so we had already dealt with that before we stepped foot into it, which was really nice. But, and I learned a lot from him. He was able to come down and help from time to time and, hey, maybe we should try this way or no, that's not how we do that. He was glad to see me in doing something that I love. And so that was nice.
Good. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So your parents financed it. That's fantastic. Did you do like a loan type situation, or what? Did you do a partnership or anything, or was it just
initially it was, because they were doing so much on it, it was a flip 50-50 split with profits.
Yeah.
This next time, my dad feels it should be greater on our side. Like we should get more of the profits because they're unable to do as much as I do. Wow. And so we're going to renegotiate that deal and get it down in writing, especially because they're in their 70s, and not that they're in great health, but if something were to happen, it'd be really nice for my 5 siblings to not question what was going on with this financial deal.
Absolutely. It's good to have things in writing. It is. I completely get that. Okay. So the first one, you guys split 50-50.
Yeah.
That's super helpful. It's helpful for people to hear how people structure deals like loans with family and friends. So yeah. Okay. So then the next one, you guys are going to structure a little bit differently.
It's probably, I think they're thinking more like 80% us and 20% them, but they'll still be, like I said, on site. They like to clean and help and do what they can, but they physically can't do as much. So that's why they realized, and we talked about the structure being different, but they're still wanting to finance it 100%. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right. So where else can they put their money for such a short period of time and make such a wonderful return? Okay. So you bought it. So what was your profit? What did your profit end up being?
My personal profit was $20,000, but between the two of us, it was $40,000 for that profit.
Got it. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
We put it on the market on Thursday. On Monday, we had a signed contract.
From purchase to sale, how long was it?
15 weeks.
Gosh.
That's to close on the house.
Yeah.
That's everything. So.
Come on.
Yeah. Where can you make that kind of money?
Right. That's a $40,000 in 15 weeks. It's a fantastic profit. Congratulations again. That's just awesome. What was your favorite part of the process?
It's almost when the neighbors would come by and just tell us how amazing things looked. And they were so excited to see the progress. And it felt good to improve the neighborhood and we told our neighbor, the one who helped us, did the fans and stuff. We told him what we were planning on selling it. When we thought it was at $265, and he about had a heart attack. He's like, there's no way it's worth that much. And I said, I'm pretty sure it is. And then we sold it for more. And so we upped the value of the homes in the neighborhood,
right,
by doing the work we did. And it felt really nice to be able to do that and improve everybody's place.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It is so validating when the neighbors buy in and are appreciative, because sometimes you just never know. Sometimes people get real cranky about that. Okay. So how did you find the subs that you did hire out? How did you find them?
So for the plumber, we went to the local plumbing supply store, and
perfect.
Luckily he actually knows my dad because they're in a rock hounding club together. So we went and talked to him, and he's like, here's some names of some people I would highly recommend. And so we contacted one of them, and he had a great quote. So we kept him. Same thing. We went to the local, it's Jones Paint and Glass is the company. And we went there because we figured we should do high quality paint. And so we talked to them, and they give us the name of some painters. And we found Alberto. He was fantastic. He did his guys. They were phenomenal. In fact, the inspector, when we sold the house, said he had never seen a better paint job. we loved Alberto. We're going to contact him for our next one because he did such a good job. And then the third one was actually a recommendation from the plumber for the deck, because we just realized at one point we need a deck on the back. We don't have time. Like physically I can do it. It's just, there wasn't time. And so we just contacted him, and he did a great job. It's beautiful. And it kind of added to the backyard and made a little kind of sitting space. So
yeah,
those were our big ones. And so we tried to contact we figured that the supply store should have an answer, somebody that they can recommend.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I love asking suppliers, who do you recommend? Which installers or which, tradespeople are coming in regularly? Who do you like working with? Who are the good ones? Super smart. Okay. What kinds of worries or fears did you have going into this whole first flip process?
Probably my biggest fear was that I would screw something up that I couldn't fix. And that is I guess a valid concern, because it's a big project, lots of money attached. And that was, or something would come up that I hadn't seen, because you open up walls and all of a sudden you could have rot, you could have all sorts of major issues. And so that was my biggest concern, is that I would get into that. And find disaster. So
yeah. And then you'd figure your way out of it. You'd figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that you would have done differently looking back? I mean, honestly, it sounds like a pretty painless first flip experience.
There was a learning curve. So I don't know if I put the pictures on, but I did my own countertops. So I did epoxy countertops. Have you seen those done?
So I have done an epoxy floor.
Oh, wow. I haven't done those yet. They turned out gorgeous. The problem was, because I hadn't put the sink in yet, we were thinking we wouldn't attach it fully first. And the problem is, because it wasn't secured to the wall and sealed, some of it kind of dripped down behind it.
Oh.
So I ended up with like a puddle of epoxy on the floor that I had to peel up. Luckily, the flooring wasn't down yet. But so there was a learning curve on the epoxy countertops. It was so much fun. I will do those in every house. They're so gorgeous, and they work like granite, so I don't have to pay granite prices. So yeah, I've already got floors set up for the next house, so I've got to submit that today.
Okay, so are you under contract?
I am.
Did I know that?
I don't know.
Did you post it in the group?
I thought I had.
Yes, you did. Okay.
On Friday.
Oh my gosh, Wendy, that's so awesome.
The renters stay until the 21st because they had a contract, which is fine, but we can do the roof, we can do the yard, we can do the, fence and stuff like that before the 21st of June. So we'll get started outside. It was funny because I was kind of lamenting, trying to find a house. I was frustrated. And then this kind of all fell together. And my husband goes, "You do realize that didn't take as long as you think it did." I said, "I know, it just felt like an eternity because it was like 3 weeks."
Oh gosh. I love it. It's all relative, right? It's all relative. And also the excitement of it is like, it feels like it's taking longer because it's just so exciting to be in. To me, that being in the energy of a flip and in the creative energy of it is so exciting. I love it so much. It does feel like a long time in between. I get that.
Yeah. But I don't know. Now I have to figure out the design and the layout because it needs help. But that's why we're here.
Super cool. That's so fun. That's so fun to problem solve and figure out spaces. Is this another one that you got off the MLS?
It is. And it's down in Cedar City again.
Wow.
But I think this time, because I do work remote, my plan is I have to be up here on Tuesdays for something. So I figure I'll go down Tuesday night and I'll stay till Sunday night, maybe be here for 2 days. And because it'll be summertime, the kids can all come with me. And well, I only have 2 at home right now, but they can come with me and hang out at grandma's and, kind of have time down there. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Okay, let's talk about that one for a minute. What are your projections on this one? Is it a similar project in scope? It sounds like it might be a little bit bigger, a little bit more involved.
So we've got some different changes this time. Last time it was just basically rip out things and put it back and make it pretty. This time it's taking out some, I've got like in one room in the kitchen, there's 3 doorways that are going away and one that's expanding. So that's going to be fun to change.
Oh my gosh, the before and after, the transformation is going to be really fun.
It will be. And they've got like the master bathroom. For some reason, they have a half bath. And it's just a toilet and a sink and a big, huge linen closet. And then this door that doesn't need to be there. And I said, oh, take out the door. We put in a shower and we have a master bathroom. So
amazing. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Okay.
It's great transformation.
This is going to be so fun to watch. What's your purchase price on this one?
This one is $139. Or no, sorry, $239. Sorry.
$239. Okay.
Point. The realtor says fixed up. She expects it to be at least $375.
That's going to be a good project.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Wow. So renovation wise, what are you thinking?
We're thinking it's going to probably cost us about $40 to renovate it.
That's going to be a very nice return.
It will be. I'm very excited.
For people who are thinking about, I want to flip in an area that's not my local market. I want to branch out a little bit. What words of wisdom would you share with them? Like I always say, it's important to have people there, like boots on the ground that you can trust. What are some words of wisdom you would have to share with people?
For me, it was finding a fantastic realtor. I mean, because I can't be there. I can't look at all the things coming on the market daily. And she has been amazing too. I feel like I can send her through a house and get honest feedback on whether it would be a good one to remodel.
That's huge. How did you find her?
She works. So when my parents bought their house, they went through this office. And so we went and talked to some of the realtors there and found her, and she was a good fit. So
awesome.
Interview the realtors, and because they work for you, they really need to be your agent, not just somebody who posts things online.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I
had one up here, and I've still got one up here that's great. But the first one I worked with, I talked to them and they didn't hear me. I would speak and I would tell them what I wanted, and they would send me the same listing 6 times. And I'm like, no, that's not what I was asking for. And it didn't matter what I said. They were not paying attention. And so I finally had to tell them that I couldn't work with them anymore. And it's not fun. It's not fun to fire and I had never actually bought a house through them. So, but at the same time, I couldn't have them kind of wasting my time.
It is such an important point. And I feel like a lot of women I talk to who are starting this house flipping adventure, it's like they're in a position of, oh, I hope they choose to work with me.
Right. No.
And it's not that. No.
It's your business.
Yes, it is your business. Like it's not, you are bringing them business. They need to woo and wow you in, right?
Yep.
So it's so important. And if they aren't performing, find someone else, because there is somebody else out there that will. So move on.
And you have to also be ready for disappointments. I had a house that I was so excited about, and I was, at the time I knew, the only person buying this house, and it was going to be a big one. It was like $550,000, but the resale was $750,000, and it would have taken me at least $100,000 to fix it up easily. But it was someone who had passed away. It was someone who, they hadn't put it on the market yet, and at the last minute, the neighbor who knew the family brought a person in, and the family, since they had a connection, went with them. And I had already remodeled it in my head.
Oh gosh, that hurts.
Already planned out what I would put where, and because you kind of get, I get worked up and excited about what I could make it into. And so I was already there, and then it all fell apart, and I was second runner up of 2. It was really hard for me to kind of just come back from that and go, okay, it's not the right house. We'll find one that will work. And
Yes. Yep. Build your team. It's your team. Get people who want to work, get people who are working for you.
Yep.
All so important. Such important messages. Awesome. I love this conversation. This is so cool. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. It's so fun to see women go do the thing that they say they want to do. Do you have anything that we didn't touch on, or anything that you want to pass on before we close out?
I had to revisit the home and look at it critically and go, what things would I improve on the next job and the next house? And so now I've got that. I can move forward and improve on what I did improve the house. I did make it look beautiful, but now I can do even better, I feel like, the next time, because of the things I learned.
That's it. Like, that's the point. Like, just, keep learning, keep improving, keep doing the thing. I love it. You did it. You did it. I can't wait to see your mom's staging too.
I'll do pictures of that because she did a beautiful job. So.
Super curious about that too. And I'm glad you staged it. I know that in this market, everything flies off. I know. And I promise you, it looks better staged.
Oh, it made such a world of difference.
It's amazing.
Every person who walked through that house put an offer on it.
Oh my gosh.
So what more could you ask for?
I know. It totally works. It totally works. Well, this has been just lovely. Thank you so much, Wendy, for sharing your story with us and for hanging out with me for a little bit. I can't wait to see your next project that you start soon.
I will post pictures.
Awesome. And I'm here. We're all here cheering you on.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. That was such a fun interview. Congrats again, Wendy. And can't wait to follow along on your next flip that you close on tomorrow. So congrats. All right. There are two things you cannot skimp on. All right. Regardless of where you're flipping, whether it's in your local market or another market, you cannot skimp on the data. You have got to know the market data, period. The market data specific to that market where you are going to flip. Second, you cannot skimp on your team. You can't. This is not a one-person show. And people who insist upon keeping it a one-person show, instead of bringing people on who are experts at what they do, so build your team, have people you trust and can rely on who are experts in their domain, and know the market data. Period. Wherever you are, wherever you're flipping. All right. If you have no idea how to do either of those things, building your team or learning the market, and you want your own team of women wholeheartedly supporting you on your journey, guess what? We do all of that and then some inside our incredible and amazing and results producing house flipping coaching program and community for women. That's what we do. And we do it really well. If you're sick of sitting on the sideline, sick of watching other people do the thing that you want to do, or you're sick of banging your head against the wall, doing the same things and expecting different results and not getting them, then you have got to get inside. Get in our program. Get on the wait list at firstflipdoneright.com, and you'll be notified within a few days of an opening. All right? But you got to do it. You got to jump. You have to be tired of where you are, and you have to want to change enough that you're willing to take the steps and you're willing to go all in, because we are absolutely all in when it comes to supporting you and encouraging you and educating you and all of those things. All right. That's it for today. Go out there, flip houses like a girl, leave people and places better than you find them, and make it a great day. Bye, y'all.